Welcome back. Now it's about time for us to begin our relationship discussion as we do every Wednesday. And today we have Aremo Oluwatobi. He's a relationship and life coach. Now he's going to be talking to us about polygamy. Now, is it natural or is it a choice? That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
I feel like the guys out there are waiting for you to either defend them or, push them deeper into a hole here.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Let's talk about what polygamy actually is, in your view.
Okay, so there are two ways to look at it.
Okay.
Marriage and relationship.
Okay.
So for relationship, polygamy is just a fancy word for double dating and cheating.
Okay.
Okay. For marriage, basically one person, guy, having more than one wife, married to more than one person.
Okay.
Now, polygamy in marriage is, I think there are some countries that actually legalize it, while it's not legalized in quite a number of other countries. So,
and I think some ethnic groups and some religions.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. So that's basically the definition for that.
All right. So why? Okay, I'm wondering where your mindset was going when even bringing forth this topic.
Okay.
I feel like there's probably a couple or a set of people that you've had conversations with who you had to discuss this with. Let us into your mindset.
Okay, so I think I've discovered that quite a number of people, especially with even married people, get stuck in a trap of cheating on their spouses.
Okay.
So for the married people, maybe even graduate into where the other woman gets pregnant, and then the whole family begins to intervene and ask him to marry this other person. Okay, and at times we don't watch how it starts. We don't watch why. How did this happen? So most times we say we chalk it up to different reasons of a guy. For the guys, they say that it's a natural ability for a guy to cheat. That guys are wired to be polygamous. Okay, there's that. Now, there's no scientific proof to that in its sense. Okay, science has not been able to tell us that we are wired for monogamy. It hasn't told us that we are wired for polygamy in its sense of it. Okay, so people are very quick to say that a guy is naturally polygamous. So even when you find yourself nearing things that require cheating, you just go with the flow, with the mindset that I am wired for polygamy, so it's not a big deal. Okay. There are many people who don't value monogamy as in being with one person. People see it as a straitjacket. It just keeps you stuck to one person forever. Some guys will say say this to me jokingly, but there are also things that people say for real. Like, how can I give this glorious body to just one person? Okay, so a guy says that, and it's a mindset. So it's expected that kind of person will cheat. That person getting married will most likely also still want to have another wife. Okay, and this conversation is not just for guys only, though it seems that maybe guys are more, when it comes to marriage, they're more involved, but it also applies to women too, as it is. So it's both sides.
All right, so now this issue of it being a choice, you mentioned family and family members rallying around because maybe there's a new child involved. How do we let men know now that is actually a choice? When they've lived with this family most of their lives, they feel a responsibility to a new child. What's the conversation like then? So
one of the major things that even lead to polygamy is mindset, the pattern of mindset that many people have been exposed to. So for a child that is exposed consistently to a mindset that polygamy is right, will most likely end up like that. So we need to first, and with this, I'm hoping that they say, mind shift. Where people see that in the end, polygamy, whether you're married or you're in a relationship, is a choice you chose to make. So for the example you gave, so the person has cheated already, there's not a child in the picture. Pregnancy does not equal to marriage. Because really there's nowhere legally, except when we now begin to talk about maybe religious groups or ethnic groups, there's nowhere that says that because somebody's pregnant for you, you automatically have to marry the person. In fact, that assumption has even led to many dysfunctional families because The man doesn't even like the woman. Yes, he's stuck with her. The woman doesn't like the man, but because I'm pregnant. So if the issue is the child, you can actually take responsibility for that child without having to marry the woman. If one of you do not want that in itself. So the man knowing that in the end is a choice he has to make for his family, that is the family that he married appropriately, and also for the sake of even that new child, because that new child will grow up to see that his mother and his father are not good, and you're already creating another pattern in the heart of that child. So it just continues in that cycle, and we keep causing trouble for families and, of course, it spills into society.
Okay, so maybe for someone who's grown up in such a dysfunctional, in quote, family before, how do we begin to explain or value monogamy?
Okay.
What sort of advice would you give someone? Maybe his father had 3 wives and he doesn't see any reason why he shouldn't go down the same path.
Well, okay, so with polygamy, because usually you start with one, then by the time you are going to the next one, there's usually some form of lying
involved,
some form of cover-up, some form of unnecessary edict that you give yourself. So why not save yourself that? That's 1. 2, we need to begin to teach people that being with one person is actually valuable. Okay, many fear that, so some people fear being jilted, at least for those in relationship. So they decide to have options.
Backup plan.
Backup plan. Okay, they call it, so there are 2 ways people break up. They break up first by either just telling the person, or they secure one, then break up with the other. So that also happens. So people have that backup plan. But, so there's that fear. So people need to know be sincere with themselves. What are the issues I have? If you've had issues of emotional abuse growing up, or you were exposed to any form of abuse, there's a likelihood that this will happen to you. So deal with these things. So most times we run away from the issues we grew up with, thinking they will disappear. Any issue that you do not deal with will not disappear. Until you deal with it, you just find out that you meet somebody, like we were saying last week, about how you just go to the mall and you meet this crush you had from secondary school, and things just happen. Okay? So people need to first make that decision. As long as there's always a choice to cheat, as long as there's always a choice to have another wife, you will most likely use that option. So you need to take that option off the table for yourself first. Then other things can follow. Okay.
So in terms of having those options, there are some people that were sort of told or instructed or guided down that path by trusted third parties. I'm talking about family members now. And then, of course, that responsibility that they feel to their family, it's a really strong one, especially if their first relationship is not working. So I've heard of some cases where we have maybe a marriage that's not been working, and a family encouraging the person to, go outside. Maybe it's not working because of the fact that the person doesn't have a male child. Let's touch on that.
So it's still back to choice. It's because the option is on the table. That's why you're even considering it. So if they bring that kind of option, the family, okay, one, the family has raised you to believe that you have, let me not use that word, you have a level of intelligence to make decisions yourself. Yeah. So they should be able to trust your decision, and you should be able to help them see them, make them believe you to trust your decision. All right. So as long as you let them feel that that option is on the table, you'll most likely use that option.
I have to say a big thank you to you one more time, Mr. Rema, for coming to talk to us. It's a very touchy topic. We'd love to know what you think about it. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tag us at TVC Connect with your comments. Talkware is standing by in the kitchen.